Hello, hello, hello. Well, apparently my Facebook Live did not publish. So I'm going to come back briefly and talk to you guys about part four of my five-part series. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Sharon Brokenbow, also go by Coach Sharon. And I work with women to help them get to the next levels in their careers easier and faster. I also support them with any leadership challenges they may be having on their leadership journey. And so, what I've been doing this week is I've been talking about the myths of coaching. And so tonight, what I want to talk about is the myth that executive coaching is only for senior leaders and the rich. That is a myth. And so, who is executive coaching for? It's for anyone and everyone. It's for your entry level employees. It is for your high potential employees. It is for your first time managers, and it is for your senior leaders. So, for your entry level employees, you can be supporting them to increase those soft skills to go along with the technical skills so that they can continue to be successful in their roles. For the high potential employees, you want to possibly groom them so that they can have the leadership skills that they need. So when they step into that leadership role, they're already ready. And you really want to invest in your high potentials because these are people that are already valuable to the organization and that you really don't want to lose. And then there's your first time managers. And as I stated earlier in other posts, the first time manager is often the most neglected employee in the organization because they got promoted into a role because of their technical skills. But then no one is there to support them on the leadership side. And then a lot of times you'll see first time managers where they were really good technically, they struggle with the leadership skills. And this is where you start to get a lot of complaints from staff about communication style and things of that nature. So you want to kind of be proactive with them before they get into a leadership role, but especially if they're already promoted into a leadership role, you want to start off the bat with giving them that support of a coach to help them through that transition period, because that's usually a time where if you were promoted within your organization and your department, you're probably now leading and supervising people who were once your coworkers, once your peers, and that's tough within itself. So you want to really support your first time leaders, and then there's your senior leaders. Once you become a senior leader, it's a different ball game. So you could have been successful technically, and you could have been successful as that first time leader. But as you move up the ladder in the organization, there's new challenges that you have to deal with. And so there could be change management, there could be time management, there could be stress management. So as you move in the different steps in your leadership journey, a coach could be beneficial at all levels. And so that's why I just wanted to talk about um, the myth that coaching is only for your senior level executives or senior level leaders. And actually, studies show that actually less than 5% of coaching budgets go to your senior leaders. And so organizations are starting to learn that it is best to invest, um, in their staff and their employees early on. Because when you have turnover, especially when you have high turnover in your organization, it's very, very costly. Not only do they take, you know, all of the intellectual capital out the door with them, but it's just very costly when someone leaves an organization. So organizations are starting to wise up and get smarter about investing in their employees with coaching at all levels. And so, what does a coach do for people at all levels of the organization? So, as I mentioned, with the entry level employee, helping them to develop not only the technical skills, but helping them to develop those soft skills. You know, introducing them to emotional intelligence, introducing them to professional presence, and what that looks like and what that shows up like. Again, with your high potentials. Maybe your high potentials have already exhibited some of those things, but there's some other gaps in their leadership skills that they're missing to be successful when they do step into a leadership role. And so that's the time that you can help your high potentials. And then your first time leaders. Again, helping them to manage the transition of now being in a leadership role because it's different than only have to worry about the technical responsibilities that you had. And then your senior level executives. Um, Perhaps you are in a new role, maybe you're in a new department, maybe you're new to the organization. Maybe you are a person who really gets really great results, but to be honest, nobody likes working with you. It happens. Um, and you know, it could be true, it could not be true, but perceptions are people's realities, and so that's something that you may want to consider working on. You know, your communication style, your communication skills, your empathy for others, and those are all things that if they were addressed maybe early on throughout the leadership journey, then they wouldn't rear their ugly heads as you move on in the leadership journey, but it happens. But these are all the things that a coach could help an individual at all levels of the organization. And so, mostly when I get calls about the possibility of coaching, it unfortunately it's a lot of nobody wants to work with this person. It's also a lot of I keep getting turned down for promotions. People are getting promoted over me and around me. I'm good at what I do. I work really hard. I come in, I stay the latest. And, you know, I'm the subject matter expert. I'm the person that everyone comes to when there's a problem to try to figure out. But I'm not getting promoted. And so something's missing. Something's missing when that is happening. And a coach could help you figure out what that is. And a coach can help you figure out the action steps that you need to put into place to fill that gap so that when that next promotional opportunity comes along, you have the skills that were missing. When that next opportunity comes along, you are ready. You have already exhibited the things that they want to see in their next leader. And so these are things that I primarily work with my clients on. And I do that in several ways. But two of the ways that I do that is for my clients that are looking to move into a leadership role for the first time, and perhaps my first time leaders. I work with them for a period of 90 days. And in those 90 days, we look at what their strengths are, what their current skill set is, identify the gaps, identify the action steps that we need to fill those gaps. We identify any obstacles that may get in the way of you filling those gaps. And then you have me as a thought partner and an accountability partner to be there with you every step of the way so that we can assure that you reach that target or that goal that you wanted to hit. And for my possibly again first time leaders and my senior leaders, I work with for a period of 6 to 9 months. And for my senior leaders, I like to work with them just a little bit longer because at that level, it takes a little bit longer for the transformation. And I always want to make sure that there's a full transformation. And so I work with my senior leaders from 6 to 9 months. It usually starts off with an assessment. So we'll look at your strengths. We'll look at your strengths. I do not believe in weaknesses. I am a strength based coach. And I believe that people either use their strengths not enough or they overuse their strengths, which come off as a negative. And so I work with my clients to support them to use those strengths evenly and adequately. And so we use that as a base, as a foundation on how we move forward in the engagement, and then other goals and targets that they would like to hit. Um, and so that's the process that I work with my clients on and have had great success in transforming them professionally from where they were to where it is that they want to be, and just really supporting them to be a more successful leader. So if any of this sounds like you, feel free to reach out to me. You can send me a direct message. You can on Facebook, I'm at Coach Sharon ROS, or feel free to email me at info@rosprofessionals.com, and we can have a conversation. We could talk about what your goals are, what your challenges are, and then we can talk to see if it's something that I believe that I can support you with. Um, and if I believe that it's something that I can truly, truly support you with, that I can be successful in supporting you with, then we can talk about how we can work together. So, thank you so much for looking at this video, and I hope to talk to you soon. Have a great evening.